Leave the everyday stresses behind and come on an action-packed ride with me, Penny Wells, and the TODU Crew as we travel to the top of Down Under. Join me on a white-knuckle ride to the top of Down Under. Can't figure out where to go on your next trip? Looking for somewhere where every other man and his dog doesn't know about? Well, have I got a treat for you. I know a place that your four-wheel drive can give you access to crystal clear rivers, amazing fishing that dreams are made of, and scenery so inspiring you'll probably have to pinch yourself to check that it's real. And you probably won't believe me until you see it for yourself. Where is it? Well, it's the Gulf of Carpentaria and surrounds, stretched across 2 states. I can't wait to show you the gems that we find. We start this adventure outside Hughenden on the Flinders River track heading for Porcupine Gorge. We take a side road before hitting Mount Isa to tackle the Fountain Springs circuit. And to get you up to speed for your own trip, we take a step-by-step approach to getting trip ready for a first-timer. We follow Jodie, a new crew member, as she goes from pavement princess to full-blown off-roader. So jump on board and let's go for a ride. After a few solid days of driving, depending on your start point, the bitumen will run out when you hit the Flinders River byway just outside Hughenden. This is where you'll meet your first challenge, the Flinders River crossing.
Going on?
Well, the water's crystal clear, but it looks like it's river sand, so it's quite coarse, and it's only shallow, so we might walk it first and see what path we should take.
Okay. First thing I noticed, it's cold.
Yes. It's just going to chop it up like walking in a wheel track here, where someone else has been, and it's just going straight down. So Jade, what I'm thinking is it's not very deep, but it is river sand, and we've walked it. So if we separate the vehicles up and not go across the same path.
Okay, why is that?
I think if you keep going over the one track, you're just going to bog down because it's so coarse.
Okay, yeah, it just gets softer and softer.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think if we each take a different path, we should be right. And there's a couple of different exits we can pick from up there, depending where we're positioned.
Okay.
And
regular speed?
Probably second gear, just nice and easy. Yeah. And if you feel yourself bogging down, just don't dig yourself in heaps. Just stop and we'll pull the winch out.
Okay.
Yeah. But you'll be fine. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Let's do it. Only a few weeks earlier, this river was in full flood, and the sand hadn't had much time to pack down yet. Of course, river sand demands respect, as it is one of the easiest substances to bog down in. There is comfort in the safety of travelling with others, and Jodie was feeling optimistic after seeing the first vehicle cross.
He's got the devil's blue eyes, yeah, they'll get you into trouble and strife, 'cause you play out with sin, pleading ignorance, no option, when you're playing to him. But honey, that's what you get for playing with the devil like him.
I think it's a little softer over here.
Oh yeah, she's down pretty good.
Didn't go quite to plan.
That's cool. We'll get the winch out. I'm just looking at the trees. They're not really in the direction that we want to winch to.
Okay.
So I'll bring my vehicle down. We can use that as an anchor point.
Sounds good. Okay.
On my heart, I can't break free. Not that I'm trying, 'cause it's ecstasy. I'm hooked on you.
Jodie's approach looked good, but the last sandbar was deceptive. With the patrol sitting on its belly, stopping before the vehicle bogged any deeper and winching it out was the best line of attack. Besides, Jodie was eager to employ the skills that she had learnt before the trip and was quick to pull the winch out.
All this still paying all this money for expensive gym.
I'm in
Get out door.
My temperature's rising. Ooh, I'm burning hot. He's got the devil's blue eyes. Yeah, they'll get you into trouble and strife. 'Cause you're playing with sin. Pleading ignorance is no option.
Halfway.
When you're playing to win. But honey, that's what you get for playing with the devil like him.
Once the safety checks had been done, it was time to get Jodie mobile again.
Okay, so I'll jump in my car, put the brakes on, and I'll talk to you on the CB. Okay.
I ain't got no time to waste. So come on and give it, baby. All you've got.
Get it done, pop me in
Dangerous
there.
temptation, but hey, so what? I'm addicted to you and your blue denim waist.
How did you go with that winch? Yeah, not too bad. I'm glad we got the recovery gear.
I
Came
know,
in handy.
absolutely.
And it was a decent pull because it was even pulling me a little bit in the vehicle. Really had to hold it there for you. Got it stuck well then. Yes, yep. But how about we pack up this recovery gear and we'll hit the track already.
Ignorance no option when you're playing to win. But honey, that's what you get for playing with the devil like him. But honey, that's what you get.
The Flinders River is the only major crossing on this track, and it's not a bad spot to camp. The rest of the track is high-speed dirt, passing through grazing paddocks, and it's an easy run during the dry season. This track will bring you out 37 kilometres short of Porcupine Gorge. You're in cattle country, so be alert for any unfenced cows. Porcupine Gorge is a national park and camping fees apply. Booking is available through the National Park's website. A degree of fitness is required to get down into the gorge, but the view at the end is worth the workout. Porcupine Gorge has formed into what it is today, after eons of time eroding the surrounding basalt-capped sandstone. It's an impressive sight after the flat plains north of Hughenden. At the wider section of the gorge, you will find the pyramid, an isolated monolith with layers of multicoloured sandstone rising from the floor of the gorge. One of the best times to sit back and soak up the beauty of this monolith is in the afternoon when the sun's rays beam down and set it aglow.
So here we are at Porcupine Gorge. The campsite isn't much to look at, but you walk down the track here and what a treat. I mean, it's beautiful gorge, isn't it? Like water
More than
running.
I was expecting.
Yeah, crystal clear water. Nice for a swim. And look at that view back there. It's just gorgeous, that pyramid there. I guess that's why they call it the pyramid track.
Makes sense.
It does, doesn't it? How about we check out the sunset? Ready?
And as you watch the sun set, listen carefully and hear the calls of the currawongs, parrots and many other bird species. You may even see the odd rock wallaby or two. But after the break, the crew head west towards Mount Isa. After burning up 450 kilometres heading due west of Hughenden, the Clem Walton Park, or also known as the Corella Dam, makes for a great overnight camp. It's located about 5 kilometres off the Barkly Highway on a gated dirt road. There is camping at the boat ramp area, but with no facilities. And for those who want a few extra comforts, Clem Walton Park camping area does have restrooms and running water. Camping in the park area is a favourite with the grey nomads, and spaces are limited.
This guy, yeah? Good idea.
Chatting with other travellers revealed a little-known four-wheel drive track, and by the description sounded worthy of further investigation. Located 57 kilometres east of Mount Isa, the Ballara Mining Heritage Trail is full of pre-World War I mining history. Mining for copper in the area at its peak was home to miners and residents, and they numbered into the thousands. Their legacy still lives today in the ruins of the towns, mine shafts and numerous graves dotted among the Agrilla Ranges. The tracks lead into the heart of the ranges through 3 major towns which sprang to life in the early 1900s and then disappeared just as quickly after World War I. As the heat of the dry season sets in, the permanent waterhole at Fountain Springs becomes very popular.
So here we are at Fountain Springs, not too far from Mount Isa. It's about 20 k's in from the bitumen road, and the four-wheel drive track in here is not too bad at all. It's quite easy, it's not too rough. And as you can see, there's a beautiful plunge pool here, and apparently in the wet season this does run with water as well, so that would be nice to see, but we're just a bit late for that. But it's still just a bit nippy for swimming, isn't it?
Yeah, wouldn't brave a bikini for this one.
No, I don't think I would either.
Oh, it's like ice.
The shade from the surrounding gums also makes it an ideal picnic spot. Most day visitors return the way they came in, but for the more adventurous, continuing onto the Wee McGregor mine site, an old railway tunnel, offers a more serious four-wheel drive option. Please be advised, this track is definitely four-wheel drive only. There is no water, fuel or phone coverage, and caravans are not permitted. The tracks can be tight and are unmaintained with steep, rocky climbs in some sections. Good ground clearance and quality tyres are a must in this area. Although the track requires concentration, pause a minute to take in the beauty of the ranges. The track forks before climbing to the railway tunnel. If you are travelling in a group, minimal turnaround space is available at the top. The tunnel is a testament to the engineering skills of the early miners. It's a 2-gauge railway, slicing its way through one section of the ranges, and the only one of its kind in northwestern Queensland. The elevated platform at the far end of the tunnel gives a great vantage point to admire the Agrilla Ranges. Early in the dry season, the native wattle engulfs the track. The array of yellow blossoms is quite spectacular. This heritage trail is approximately a 40-kilometre loop with its many ascents and descents across these spectacular Sawback ranges. The road has some very rough sections and should only be attempted in the company of experienced four-wheel drivers. Due to the reduced pace in which you can safely complete these tracks, our crew found it more relaxing to break the drive up over 2 days. And with several idyllic places to camp, it was just too good to pass up.
Wow, they weren't kidding when they said that this track was for serious four-wheel drivers. Now, the information from Mount Isa says to take 1 day, but I'd suggest you take 2 because the tracks are quite tough, and also there's plenty to see and do along the way, so stop and check it out. And as you can see now, we're just pumping up our tyres, ready to move on. And if you're wondering why Jodie did so well on the tracks, check out our next segment where Jodie does some four-wheel driver training. A large majority of four-wheel drive owners lack the skills to drive their vehicle to their full potential. Or perhaps you're like Jodie, you have all the enthusiasm, but you lack the confidence in your off-road abilities. So there's nothing better than a hands-on training course. And for that reason, we are here with Bob and Marianne Rogan from Brisbane Hinterland Four-Wheel Driver Training. Even if you do have some experience, it's always good to learn new tricks. That's why I'm here with Jode to enjoy this one-day accredited course and see what we can learn.
Bob and Marilyn have years of four-wheel drive experience being in the tag-along tour industry, and Bob is also a fully qualified mechanic. You will feel at ease right away as they seem to have a calming effect that turns your nerves into excitement at the prospect of what you will learn. After covering a few fundamental theories of four-wheel driving, the course is basically divided into 2 sections. The first being basic driving techniques, obstacle negotiation, and getting to know your vehicle characteristics.
That's a bit of a fail.
Okay, so we'll climb up, nice steady shoulder control, and climb up over and I'll meet you at the top.
They will teach you that a little forethought can save you a lot of grief later on.
So go back around again.
There's a couple of really big holes in the ground. Stop a bit short of those.
By using your own vehicle, they will individually take you through the obstacles, explaining how your four-wheel drive will respond, whether it's part-time or full-time four-wheel drive.
Wheel spinning on this wheel because it's at full extension. So we have very little comfy. First gear. Handbrake off.
Where the people are.
Come around.
Okay.
Alright. So
let the clutch
throttle, left lock. All together. Quite quickly.
So as soon as it touches.
Okay, way you go now. Spin it hard. Excellent. That wasn't too bad, okay?
Happen to you too. It'll give you a heart start, but
Just keep
your
going.
foot going and you'll be right.
With greater confidence in how your four-wheel drive will react in different scenarios, a steep hill climb really cements in the techniques you have just learned.
So how'd you go up the hill, Jode?
It was less daunting than I was expecting.
Yep.
So yeah, it was, as long as you you can see the rocks and all the rest of it. And it's,
Keep your momentum up.
yes, definitely momentum.
Getting a bit quick, or hear the revs go up, just lightly
Gentle.
touch the brake and yeah, mark.
You feel like you need it to be going too quick. Also, if you think I need it.
What goes up must come down, and learning to descend a steep hill climb is vital. The second half of the course focuses on recovery and Jodie's favourite water crossing techniques, which would prove essential with the many creek and river crossings throughout the Gulf country, especially when travelling this area straight after the wet season.
Are you stuck there, Jodie?
It appears so, yes.
Look, seems your biggest issue here is your clearance, your lack of height. Your driving was fine. A little bit of extra clearance solved the problem. So, suspension number one. No? Slight lift and beat them up a bit. Good shocks.
Well, Bob's back there with Jode discussing what accessories he'd suggest that she put on her vehicle, and I'd recommend this day to anyone as well. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced student, you'll definitely learn something from it. Now Jode's got more confidence, she's ready to hit the road.
Located 19 kilometres east of Mount Isa, the Lake Julius Punjabi Road heads north from the Barkly Highway. Down this road 85 kilometres you will arrive at Lake Julius itself. The facilities offer toilets and a boat ramp. However, there is no camping permitted here. For those looking to bush camp, continue along the Punjabi Road as it follows alongside the Leichhardt River, which presents you with several choice spots. Always being mindful to leave these campsites as you find them, as they are working cattle stations. At the end of a day's driving, it's refreshing to escape the heat and relax in the cool water of the Leichhardt River.
Well, that wraps up this episode. Porcupine Gorge is beautiful, and I didn't realise how many great four-wheel drive tracks there is around Mount Isa. Make sure you pick up one of these from Queensland Outback Tourism first, a map on where to get there and where to go. Now, Lake Julius was also worth a look, but you can't camp there. But nevertheless, there's some great river camping spots along the way on the Lake Julius Punjabi Road. And next time on the Top of Down Under, we head to Normington. See you then.